Hello, my name is Mark Rich. Some of you may know that the Deepwater Horizon BP oil spill of 2010 and Fukushima nuclear disaster of 2011 were both acts of state-hosted ecocide carried out for a variety of reasons, including depopulation, financial ruin, natural resource denial, and terraformation. Others have commented that these environmental strikes extend to fifth-generation cellular and weather warfare accomplished with geoengineering and ionosphere heaters. In this report, I intend to alert you to a specific method of clandestine ecological warfare that's been rolled out in rural and suburban communities on a global scale. To keep this presentation brief, I'll give you an overview of what I've learned, and I ask that you visit my website where I've covered this topic in detail. After learning about these crude oil and nuclear disasters, patterns started to emerge when I studied other major environmental catastrophes. Eventually, I found that Fukushima and BP were only the tip of a humongous iceberg, and that someone had been staging major environmental disasters for at least a century. Some of the attacks have been happening under the guise of natural resource development projects that in reality are all about natural resource destruction. These projects and facilities include pipelines, crude oil spills on land and sea, mining, coal-fired power plants, conventional oil drilling, and hydraulic fracturing. I've determined that many of these projects are unconventional warfare invasions to cut off food and water supplies and seize land for United Nations Agenda 21 and a greater terraformation objective. I found that these state-hosted ecological attacks are bankrolled by financial institutions directed by ruling psychopathic bloodlines who appear to have been commissioned by hostile aliens to terraform Earth with geoengineering and massive pollution from their industrial corporations. They've been using natural resource development projects to sever food and water supplies all over the planet. Most disturbingly, they have the complicity of the host nation government, including environmental ministries and elected officials, from mayors up to presidents and prime ministers. These compromised public servants are knowingly opening the gates for deliberate pollution and appear to be at the complete mercy of the toxic invaders. It seems these officials have cut deals and are being rewarded for selling out the human race. Despite what we're told about remediation, from the perspective of a typical societal lifespan, the damage is usually permanent. Once that river or lake is polluted, it's gone. This planet has already sustained tremendous injury. Most major lakes and rivers have been expelled as healthy food and water repositories. It appears the psychopaths are in a hurry to crash Earth's biosphere, as evidenced by the raging wildfires, increasing hurricanes and earthquakes, unrelenting stratospheric aerosol injection, and many highly sensitive regions that have been targeted for natural resource development. We have been severely negligent in our treatment of this planet. However, in my estimation, most of the wide-scale damage that's been attributed to humanity, including the current Holocene extinction, is actually the result of their campaign. All this time, there's been another factor to this pollution. I think the most important one. We have been under attack. Climate change, more accurately stated, climate disintegration, is just the visible damage from their century-long attacks that can no longer be hidden. They've been using their environmental groups, NGOs, government agencies, mainstream media, and climate scientists to blame us for the damage they deliberately caused. There are factors concerning this situation that anyone forming a practical course of action should consider. Here I've just included a few that I think are relevant. Their primary system of covert communication would need to be shut down. I'm referring to the totally operational, artificially intelligent, all-pervasive, weaponized C4ISR system, the Global Information Grid. This will free the electronically shackled citizens, as well as any decent people with positive intentions who got snagged by the system in the controlled opposition. There would need to be a realistic appraisal of current damage. That means we take an honest look at all of the natural resources we've already lost. The farmland, forests, coastlines, rivers, and lakes that they've ruined. The Great Lakes, for instance, have been totally polluted with industrial waste and are no longer a viable source of food and water. That means the biggest contiguous freshwater supply on Earth has been taken out. Most of the other major lakes and rivers are also impaired. The ocean is not just acidifying, it's dying. The forests are also dying. If the oceans and forests collapse, we will not be around for very long. The air and soil are contaminated with radiation and heavy metals. Our food supply is poisoned. Our health is failing, and our cognitive faculties are diminished. Additionally, there are multiple extinction class episodes occurring simultaneously, each with the potential to greatly reduce our numbers or entirely wipe us out. Regardless of what you think about all of the deception linked with climate change, Earth's biosphere is collapsing. Even if they were immediately stopped, the damage they've already inflicted has set off a mass extinction. We are quickly running out of food, water, and time. I hope that the biosphere will support some native life, including humans, if they are stopped and brought to justice. Perhaps some existing on-planet knowledge and technology can mitigate the extinction so that some parts of Earth's surface will support any surviving indigenous life forms.